It's 7:58 a.m. on the ninth day, 4th month, 2023, Easter Sunday, here in England. We're going to do besides move this stuff around and making squeaky noises, is have a look at what's coming. I want to answer a few basic questions I get asked a lot. I can answer those first, and while you're hanging in here, or I can just go right for the goods. Hey, so I'll go right for the goods. You're being impacted by some storms today in Auckland. I've heard they've issued some tornado warnings. Not surprising me at all, actually, for what's coming. It did surprise me to hear them for today a little bit, but when it butted into the stuff up north, it was going to have a lot of action as these vortices here caused by some of these straits and islands here. Well, it's not really a full strait. If they breached that one gap, well, you'd have a heck of a channel there, wouldn't you? But has it ever been talked about? I wonder these things sometimes. What could be achieved? And so I get asked a lot. Who funds these things? Yeah, I'm just gonna let this roll for you. And a lot of this funding is all done by private corporations. Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation, in particular, has funded ScopeX. It's funded the Google's Project Loon, which was originally just designed for testing 5G and other mobile signals from a high altitude, so they can cover areas of the world that aren't normally covered by the cell phone masts. And that's what it was said to have done. But I was noticing when that project was going on that there were a lot of chem bombs being I seen in the paths of where they were going, and I was tracking them on that Flight Tracker 24 app. Used to show Project Loon. And that project officially ended a long while back, actually. And then ScopeX picked up where the Loon left off, and it was an overlap time where both were going on. And the same guy, Dr. Keith from Harvard, he was responsible pretty much for the oversight of both programs. Tests out in Arizona. There's some other people like Ken Caldera involved and stuff. Caldera selling volcanic gas solution on sulfurs and stuff. Now I'm watching this here is batch 2 coming in from Australia. It's the remnants of their system that is going to be impacting them over right around here. I'll show you guys over Western Australia too as well. This is the forecasted of inundations. And this ain't going to be just a little bit of moisture that's going to hit you on these days here coming at you. Yeah, she comes over here as a spinner and does a curveball in. Yep, had to. All the stuff coming off from Oz wouldn't allow it to come in. There's a wall of storm from moving towards the east on that day. And it's simultaneously over here. Yeah, really, the Easter runnies are up north here today. Oh, it's Easter Monday for you guys. Gotta remember, I have a big time difference here. I'm in England reporting on storms that your Met service should have told you a long time ago, and the Bureau of Morons should have told you what's coming here. I'm going to do it a quick breeze through. There's some devastating pockets of rain in this storm here that's going to curve on in after it hooks around here. Come ashore somewhere right between here. Alright. And the chem will do the determinant. An EMF line will do the determinant. And pretty much that's going to get set up in the next 24 hours. I should see a beam to guide it in. I don't think they're going to deploy it quite yet. It's too soon. And the curve in. Yeah, right around there you'll see some steering beams from the radars really pinpoint where this storm is going to go. Exmouth is protecting its array. That's for sure. And it's a steamer. Absolutely packing some wind when this comes ashore. Not to be taken lightly. Even right in here, there's going to be pockets that are at hurricane strength and above. 73 miles an hour is hurricane strength. My gosh, this is not a good situation here unfolding for you guys as this thing steams across the country. And by Friday, it's well on its way to have lost some of its wind field. But the rains are going to be continuing. I did say some of its wind field. And this is not to be taken lightly. If you're within 100 miles of the center of this, take this very seriously for the spawning of tornadic activity, hail, sudden downpours. And as this moisture goes across the sea, it's going to deliver that same energy and water that's left with it right to you guys in New Zealand. And that's going to push this low in front of it. That's a bad situation that's going to develop when that occurs here, coming around the 19th or 20th. Eclipse day is the 20th. So they have the low coming sooner in front of that. It has to push it in front of it. They're two independent lines of storms. So one is one after the other. That's going to be a wallop. It has a lot of momentum. It's been a battle and tap out there for a long time. That low is set. Oh, you poor folks. A little bit of a spinner forming off the coast of Kos here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a full-fledged cyclone or anything. Port Mac, Lake Catchess. It don't look too bad for you guys. Let's look at some of your rain totals to be expected over the next 24 hours are very important as this makes its way across. It is going to be doing a big dump. That's not accurate, but you've already had some rain, hadn't you? Yeah, you still got a lot to pick up over here at this sticky outfit over here in the New Plymouth. A lot more rain still to come. This is your 3-day totals. Yeah, still 20 centimeters more to go. Nelson, it's coming your way. Please be prepared. Well, it ain't from me liking me telling you, that's for sure. Either you can heed warnings or not. And then when that second tundra comes, this is a very deadly situation. It's going to develop again, one right after the other. And those totals will not be seen on this map yet. About 3 days from now, you'll start to see the big totals of what's the entire event. These are your 12-hour totals. I want you to have a good look at what everybody's saying, but I'm fairly accurate with what I've been telling you. The way the tendrils coming ashore, looking at this camera right here, right about here, you can really see it's about to clobber Nelson and all that. They're about to get another really big band. And here's about to get it to New Plymouth. See that big coming ashore is right here? Whammo. And while I got your attention on something, I'm going to show you a couple little things. First, I'm going to show you this document here, the Paris Agreement, which I have loaded here. All right, I just did the SIGI 111 Paris Agreement check. And you come up with this document here, and I got a few things highlighted here of interest. So I'm going to pop this one in first. Okay, here's a little bit of a geoengineering thing. My forecast from last night is a bit more in depth about the storms. If you want to go back and look at it, I did one very, very, very late last night. So I've got a few things highlighted here, and the first thing I'll show you is on this document here. This is what the cover looks like. Right? This just goes over the governance of geoengineering from the Paris Agreement. And page 13 is always of interest to you. It's kind of, I'll give you an irony from The Simpsons. There's a guy named Mr. Burns. He wants to block the sun. Actually, this is the guy that prepares the document. It's another guy that wants to block the sun. So, and he does. They say fact check says Bill Gates doesn't want to block the sun with his experiments, but solar radiation management, I'm looking for page 13, by definition, is blocking the sun. It is. It's limiting how much sunshine. It says right here, potential delivery vehicles include aircraft, artillery, shells, and hoses suspended from towers. And it gives reference 59. And you got all these things, risks, benefits, and things. So you can go down here and find what appears. But I find this one most interesting. It's reference number 57. And from the House Committee on Science, Technology, Hearing, and Scientific Basis and Challenges. And so you'll come up with this here. This is the search. This is the document, which I've gone over a little bit here this morning before I came on. Highlighted a few juicy bits for you. And there's that document there that's actually telling you that they've been discussing geoengineering for a long time. And one thing here I found interesting is on page 5 of the House Committee. I think I said Senate by mistake earlier. As they use the word source to refer to either gas, like sulfur dioxide or another gas that will eventually react chemically and form sulfate aerosols, right? This is acid rains. Or to similarly inject sulfuric acid or some particle type directly. Okay? This was, I found, a big concern. Again, mimicking a volcano, but this was a big concern. You might also be interested to know that scientists have occasionally considered using other kinds of particles to do geoengineering. But the people in this committee, asked him to focus on the sulfate aerosols, so I will not discuss other particles further. It bothers me a lot. And it talks about sizes of particles, which are very, very small. You're going to pour over this document, but that's the guilt right there. It tells you he wasn't even allowed. And how much money they want. It's always a sales pitch, current spending. Well, but I think we need more. And it's your job to give it to me, government. Give me the money, give me the money, give me the money. At what cost? Occasionally considering, but he will not discuss it. He should have discussed it. Somebody should have asked him. Shouldn't have been a not discussed when it comes to this coming down on your skies. And so you'll go over that document. You can't tell me geoengineering ain't real. Now, Project Loonwise, you might find some of these pictures a bit interesting. Again, he funds that to a big amount. You see, he committed $2 billion so far here. And he also funded the Scopex. Oh, I got that. I spelled that a little bit differently, right? Are we running? Yep. Hop the docs. And he funded this one too for a lot of money. He funds a lot of stuff that seems to be doing a lot of things that are unhappily sitting in my mind. Yeah, they're forcing policies on people like the air that we breathe. In 2017, these things been going on a long time. November 23, that's Project Scope. That's not the same thing. That would have surprised me. You see the pictures of these things. You know the spy balloons that were going over the USA? Any of these things look familiar to you? These big platforms. What's all this stuff up here? Bzzzt. Or is that a propeller to move it along? What's inside these things? What's going on? Are those radar reflectors to track the particle sizes? I don't know. If it takes a crane to lift it, it ain't small. It's a big antenna going up in the air. Yeah, that don't look right. That don't look like Scopex, that one. That could be one of those gondolas too. What are these things that hang down? Two-story getting ready to launch the largest super pressurized things. We might as well go back to using that and just dropping hand grenades down on people. It'd be quicker. But the Scopex balloons were rather interesting. And let's see, I'm using Bing. I usually don't use that one. If I go over to I ain't gonna load all them different ones of those tonight. So there's so many things that they've done. You can go to you'll find a couch group well involved in this. You should be able to find this right here. I'll get you a link to that. This is all funded by private people, corporations that have vested interest in changing food supplies, controlling how much you pay for your heating, or whether you got to turn it on. Make a cold day in summer, you need it. Or make a cold day, control your bills. Block the sunshine. You might need your lamp some more. You'll have to excuse me. Oh, it's 8 o'clock in the morning now. I should be wide awake. It was all sorts of things that in here of great interest that you might find. And I'll show you the title of this here at the top. This is the written testimony by Dr. Philip Resch, which was Philip Resch right here. You see, that's his written testimony reporting on this from 2010. This has been going on a long time. Yeah, the colors on. Boom, 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 go to plumes. In the definition, there are two classes of geoengineering. The intentional modification of Earth's climate being discussed. by the Congressional Committee. Design 1 is to draw down in concentration of greenhouse gases. Cow farts. And number 2 is solar radiation management, which is blocking the sunshine. And you ask them to focus on the solar radiation management. Like this thing is just asked. He was asked to just focus on one thing, but yet he know from down here in this other part I showed you that there were other particles. Other particles. Says it right here. Other kinds. Kinds. That's more than one. That's plural. Plural. But he will not discuss this further. Not discuss this further. Well, mister, you need to discuss this. Not just further. You need to go and tell everybody what you know, Dr. Philip Rash. Because that's just terrible. You know some things that are being done in our sky, and we all who breathe this deserve an honest answer. So I hope you found that part entertaining. And so here's your couch group, by the way. And they fund it too. And they get these great big things they put up in the sky, just like I showed you. And they're selling it. And this guy here thinks it's a good idea. And there's Keith again. He did Scope X. Burns, excellent. So I'm going to shut a few of these screens down. I think I gave you all the docs there that you needed to. Yeah, we're going to leave that site. It was nice to have try a different document reader. So on the 10th, as some of your totals were looking actually really devastating for the Nelson areas, what happens here gets added to. You know, I told you got batch after batch after batch. This is quite a almost a pattern that's going to be developing over the next 30 days. Huh? Did he just say 30 days? Yes, I did. Hey, look, you got the sent a boomerang over. Yeah, that weather just keeps coming back to haunt you, don't it? Oh, that's a big tendril sitting out there. That's not good. That's not good. So let's go continue now to have a look, and that's the what's going to go on here. This is a deadly situation. Tide tables are going to play a huge role in the death toll in destruction levels and how much it's going to cost to rebuild. Because when it comes ashore, even now, you're going to have 100-mile-an-hour winds. There's no way you're not. There's just no way. That's a Cat 3. Yeah. Hey, you guys are just batten down the hatches. North of Port Hedland, that is a very possible. It's an easy guide in place because you got 2 radars here. They can do 2 half beams to bring it in. Half on here, half on there. This one nearly has to be off because you have to have quite a flow from the land. So when they beam, they're going to have to beam low. And so the upper flow of the toroid feeds the storm. Remember, she's coming in on the low deck and coming out. So they're going to have to feed it certain ways to get the convections just right. Because when it squashes to shore here about, just see if we catch it on the next jump, the wind fields will jump briefly. And that's when you'll start seeing the tornadic activity start. When it starts to come ashore like that, the eye goes through some wild changes, wobbles all over the place, and it spits lots of little energetic eddies with tendrils of moistures and a lot of electrical potential. And a tornado is an electrical phenomena, and the winds are a side effect of the electricity flow. And even coming in here, that's a very devilish wind you got coming across the desert. This one's going to be one to remember. And you can expect a lot of dust storms and stuff settling on your cars out here from what's going to get whipped up when this comes across. And it's not the most healthy stuff in those farming soils. As some of us are not big fans of eating pesticided food or breathing pesticided dust. It's not good at all. And your totals are really high. But most of it's going to stay near the center. If this thing stays tight, it's less devastating as far as flooding goes for a wider area. But where it passes is going to be bad. Let's see if we can get your accumulations. Oh, accumulations. Give us accuracy. That's all we want. Accurate weather forecast so Robert can sleep. He's not up at 5:30 in the morning taking 2 hours to figure out what to show you guys. Those documents took me a little bit to hunt down. But I get asked these questions, and I find it's best to prove them with documents like that. Congress and programs and the money and who's doing it. And it's private industry doing it that have vested interests in the outcomes as far as the solutions that are immediately offered afterwards that make the money. This one on the tons is showing an oh my god here between Broome up on the peninsula here. You know, you pull up 30 centimeters is a lot, and then you're going up to a half a meter as you're going toward the tip where it's hanging out. This event's going to drop 3/4 of a meter on this shoreline as she comes. This is bad. Bad, 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 bad. Showing a little bit of action on the coast roads finally as that thing's going to truck its way across. It's going to leave a path. But it looks like you guys have got a beautiful few days that you should dang sure enjoy. Right? At least not no inundations coming. But when I look at the sky, it's not so enjoyable down here. But I've seen some pictures of some beautiful deep blue skies, and it's made me so happy to see up here. It did. And thank you for sending me those shots. I need to see the beauty too. You don't always have to send me the camera. Would you look at the gill? Bzzz, getting fried, Australia style. Bzzz, the fryer's on. 2 different directions of microwaves. You got to crisscross. That's going to make a lot of electrical potential when the moisture hits this. Yeah, it's going to fuel a few nasties. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. The Easter runnies eat too much chocolate. Did you like chocolate? I do. I just turned Easter. I'm thinking I may have the enjoyment of a homemade waffle this morning. I like, well, you see like a microwave pulse going across the top, kind of like a haze. Those are many miles apart, so that's a very low frequency wave. You could have 2.5 to 5 miles between peaks on the top part of the waveforms. That's very, very low. Boom, 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 boom. It's not quite the drum circle that I like to enjoy. Now let's see what we got going on here. Mine, that's a little fast. Oh, we get lots of commas. We get 61, yeah, they're calling a bingo card. Yeah, you get 60, you're fucked. 60 coal. 60 BUB free B oneness, and this is not my oneness to have to report on a holy day with the alien head showing up in the clouds, holding on a chem bomb and exploding it. Boom. Come on, use your imaginarium. Straight into the fart cloud. Boom. Right there. Food of Florida Lee. You can't leave that. What we got going on here? Oh no, they're making a new banner in the sky, a sensitivity, a stop geoengineering banner like you put on your rappel. But you know, a chem bomb, it lasts all day, so you'd have to keep buying those. Oh my, boom, 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 boom. Look at this stuff here. All the way across the country. You know, they just can't leave these folks alone. Easter Monday. Chem bomb Sundays. Have a chem bomb Sunday, huh? With some nanobots on top. Oh, just a sprinkling. I wish we had a spring that was clean for the May Queen. You know, we're all going to have to take that stairway to heaven, but whether the door is open or not, who knows? And boy, I want to buy a seat and watch Dan the Glenn going down the stairway to heaven stairs. He thinks he's going up there. Hey, let him walk it. I want to see him coming back down. Old man Geo. The face of geoengineering. Right in your face. 2 different directions of flows of these clouds that should be just coming right at you. They should be spinning. They shouldn't be doing this crap. What in the hell kind of face-looking ghost Casper thing is this? Handing something out to New Zealand? That is not good. Like the Spartan. Ooh. Faces in the storms. Boom, 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 boom. Faces in the storms, boom, 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 boom. The Bureau didn't warn. Boom, 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 boom. With enough time for these storms. Boom. What a fucking shame, huh? Boom, 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 boom. They take you for a ride while they made you stay inside. Killers in the skies. Boom, 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 boom. You can't disguise what's in the skies. Boom, 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 boom. We're being called by the man. Boom, 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 boom. We need to take each other's hand and make us understand that chem bombs suck. Geoengineering needs to stop. And these rich people funding this kind of crap, poisoning all of us, need to be brought to justice and be punished to the fullest extent of the law. We will hold vigils for the aunties that were killed and aunts. The vigil for the aunties, as the booming and the plumers are fixing to do their ruinings. All I could think is, oh my God, these poor fucking folks are about to see the finger of God type storm that some of them may never have faced. Churning and burning, into your ass it goes. Nanoparticles, into your ass they goes. Sneezing much? Coughing much? Headache much? No energy much? The only thing being energized here is these storms, stealing the oxygen out of the air to make sulfuric acid. That takes molecules, of oxygen to make. Oh. Right at the end, just a big old blast for your ass. What a fucking shame. You guys are about to cop it bad. I feel very bad for you. So I'll keep my eyes open for you. Let's see if we can get anything on the radar now. You gotta show the radar. That's not the one I want. I want this one here. Let's get the infrared. And boy, you got some action out to sea here. And I'm going right to the left because I've already watched. These are some deadly ones here. These are very, very active Easter runny storms. Yeah, I'm enjoying that phrase. I'm going to use it. Could be worse. See the center right here, well offshore. Booming convections on the outside. Tendrils, wow, that's some very, very, very energetic field they got here going on. Fucking hell. It's up there. Same with this one. Let's see what we got on the below here. It's visible, but it's nighttime. Nighttime in the old neighborhood. That's same as booming and pluming. The infrared's really showing some active storms here and here. A few pop-ups on the east. So chem is having its nighttime effect. That's a spinner. Looking down coast is pretty good. A field of bombs or something's been deployed over here. For safe. Should be about here. Those are that bomb field that just went across you guys here. Here's those creeping tendrils of death coming to fall out on my Great Barrier Reef. Fueling stuff up in dynamics in the tropics all the way through to Vanuatu, Fiji and all that up here. That's Fiji right there getting farted and sharded and geoengineered corporate style. And when the corporation comes for you, it's time for you to boycott the corporation. Down tools. Big love. Peace.